awesome.
Remember how your guitars have the keyboard thing in them?
Hey,
That's awesome.
remember that time when you sang about Down with the Sickness? Did you have the flu? Well, his project's called Device, and this is the leadoff single off their new album that's out now. This is called Vilify on STS Radio.
Go find another lapdog fucker. You need to verify every single word that I say. Let me wrestling with lawless parody. Leave me alone. Take another wretched soul on the hell ride. Go find the most acceptable sucker. I can't believe this is happening. Don't want to start over again. It's gonna keep falling over again and again and again. When you verify, you begin to nullify everything that we've ever done. With my head, as you vilify, all I've been given, I don't wanna fall apart anymore. I wanna end it right now. You vilify, I start to ponder every battle, every fall, every thought, imploding in my head. If you vilify, it's up in the building, I promote you to devour me off. Why don't we end it right now?
What's up, everybody? It's comedian Bob Marley. You're listening to the STS Podcast. Wicked!
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Bob Marley, for that. Bruce, where are you? There you are.
Hey,
I
was just chucking a good old Bob Marley.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. You gotta check his tour dates, see when he's coming around to you, and go laugh your ass off.
I've heard he's a funny guy.
He is.
Of course, I'm a fan of Boondock Saints. So.
Well, yes, but even in person, he is funny as hell.
And he was nice enough to do that, so that's always cool.
Yeah. He was gracious enough to do that. He's a wicked cool guy whenever he stops by, so.
Wicked cool.
Wicked! All right, so Bruce, you were talking about your taxes.
Yes, my taxes.
So what's going on, man? You have like some issues, like you not get paid enough, or you have to pay into it, or what's...
Something like that. Well, no, I got a form, I think it was a week and a half ago, in the mail from the Department of Revenue, which said that they had corrected my taxes because I had reported that I had collected $0 in unemployment, and unemployment had reported to them that I collected $6,012 in unemployment. To which I went, what? Because I've been employed at my current place for almost 2 years now, and before that I was employed for over 2 years. I think the last time I was on unemployment was back in like 2008, so I'm like, this can't be possible. Like, there's no way I was on unemployment for the calendar year of 2012. So what I have to do is you have to call up the Department of Revenue or whatever, and you have to say, hey, that's bullshit, what do I have to do? And so I talked to this chick, and she was like, well, you have to get proof from unemployment to send to us to verify that you're not on, or you never collected unemployment, and then we can fix it for you. I'm like, okay, no problem, right on. So I hang up. And I call unemployment, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I just need verification that I didn't collect unemployment in 2012. And they look me up, and they're like, I can't find you in the system. I'm like, well, yeah, it's been a while since I collected. They're like, well, when was it? I'm like, well, it was like 2008. And they're like, well, I don't find you in the system. I was like, well, that's great. Can you just send me something that says that I didn't collect in 2012 and we can be done here? And they were like, no, we can't send anything like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Like, why not? Send me some paper, damn it!
I was like, you can't just send a letter, but I was like, all right, fine, you can't. Because I'm in customer service, and I don't want to give people too much shit if I don't have to, because I don't want to take it myself, so I kind of hope there's karma there, but whatever. So I fucking call, Department of Revenue, I'm like, I can't get the letter. And they're like, well, you have to. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, we need written verification. We can't just take your word for it, so they need you to send you something. You need to talk to somebody else. I'm like, well, fuck. So I call unemployment again, and then finally I'm like, hey, yeah, I just need you to send me a letter. So finally they're going to be sending me a letter to verify that I was not on unemployment. Then I have to send it to the Department of Revenue so that they can unfix my fucking refund.
Jeez.
Because they incorrectly got the report that I collected $6,000 worth of unemployment, which I didn't.
Yeah.
How does that happen? You know,
I
my
don't know.
coworker had me all like worked up, like, oh, maybe someone stole your social security number. I'm like, nah. And then once I called them, you know, and they were like, no, you're not in our system. I was like, well, good. Then that means no one stole my social security number then. But,
Yeah.
you know, leave it to my coworker to be like, oh, shit's going down. Like, relax, it's fine.
He just pulls out an ID card like, I'm Bruce Gates now, motherfucker. And I say,
See, I told you.
see? And I say you collected $6,000 on unemployment.
Thank you very much.
God damn it.
So,
So yeah, that's my little taxes debacle.
unbelievable, man.
I know. I was fit to be tied. Or tied to be fit, or whatever you want to.
You were fit to be tied and fucked by the government.
What else is new?
Shocker.
Yeah, really. Yeah. If you were expecting, you know, some sort of, you know, climactic ending, like the government actually decided that they have to give me $6,000, then no, sorry, folks. It ain't that kind of story.
Doesn't work that way. Only the government can fuck you. You can't fuck the government.
They should give me $6,000 just for fucking with me.
Yeah, they should at least give you something. Like, hey, here's a copy of the game of life.
Because, you know, I did kind of have, like, a minor heart attack, and I was like, well, shit, what does this mean? Like, what can I do? Can I fight it? Oh, fuck, like, is this going to fuck up my taxes? Am I going to get less money now? I'm going to have to pay now? What the fuck? I was freaking out, and then was just like, you could just call them, and I was like, right on.
Like, wait a minute, the caller of two heads here.
That's usually how it goes. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, what the fuck? And she's like, you could do this. And I'm like, oh, right.
Dude, she should have thrown you for a loop and just said, let's go burn it down.
If only. I'd be like, all right, let's go. Oh,
They won't be able to find your records if they can't find the building anymore.
unemployment my ass.
Now who's unemployed, motherfuckers?
Now you are unemployed.
Which brings up the point, when somebody gets fired from unemployment, like, where do they go to unemployment and collect unemployment, or?
They must, yeah. Like if you work for the Department of, you know, unemployment and you lose your job, I imagine you collect unemployment.
Like somebody gets fired behind the desk and just walks around like, yeah, I want to collect unemployment now.
Well, I don't think you can be fired. Like if it's for it, well, it depends on, you know, like why you were fired. Because if it's like some sort of disciplinary thing, then you're not necessarily going to be able to collect. But if you quit, you can't collect either. You have to be, I think, like let go or certain circumstances of being fired.
Well, thank you for killing the joke, Bruce.
Well, I'm just saying, like you can't like go in and moon your boss and then be like, oh, I'm going to collect unemployment.
Well, obviously.
I'm just saying.
If it was that easy, I think there'd be like a mass mooning across America.
That sounds like there is, considering the unemployment numbers. Holy shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe that's what's going on. Everybody's just
Everybody's mooning their
bosses
everybody's mooning their fucking bosses.
with their dumpy asses. They're like, look at my dumpy ass. Look what we started.
Exposing their Dinklemans and their dumpy asses.
Their Dinklemans and their Dinklewomans.
Yes. The Dinkle flaps.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So I had that to worry about. And then, you know, you said we were talking about the beer thing. Then if that wasn't enough, I had to worry about perhaps having infected beer.
Wait, what do you mean infected beer? Like your
Infected beer.
Your beer gets like AIDS or something? Like what are you talking about?
No. No. Thankfully.
New AIDS lager.
You're drinking hepatitis C straight. Enjoy.
Straight from the veins of Tommy Lee.
But no, like we did our first all-grain batch of beer, which basically means like rather than using extract, we grind our grains and you do what's called a mash, and you have to get it to a certain temperature and yada 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 for conversion, yada yada yada. It gets kind of technical and shit, but basically, you have to be very sanitary after you boil it because there's a lot of infection that can happen. There's a lot of bacteria in the air, and if it gets into your beer, it can infect your beer, right?
Well, yeah, it's like sulfur, right, and a bunch of other like atmospheric shit. Yeah,
there's all kinds of shit in the air. So
just that delayed pause, like, wait, does he know what he's talking about?
Wait a minute, he has an idea. Holy shit! But no, so I was so good about it up until the point where like I had to rehydrate this yeast, and I didn't learn until after the fact that you're supposed to sanitize the flask and then boil the water, so that's all sanitary as well, and I didn't do any of that, so I was like, oh shit! And to make matters worse, the thermometer that I was using to test the temperature of the yeast at the time broke. Okay, so there are little like black pellets in the bottom. and those fell into the yeast. I pull it out and it's empty. It doesn't have any of those black things in it. So presumably there was glass in there too. So I'm like, oh, fucking great. Not only did I not sanitize this shit, but now there's presumably a piece of glass and these little fucking black pellets in there too. So I managed to pour out the yeast, without getting the black pellets. I don't know about the fucking glass, but the thing with the glass is it's kind of okay because it probably settled into what's called the trube, the sediment at the bottom of the fermenter. So that's probably okay. And either way, it won't go through the autosiphon. So it's not going to end up in the final beer. You won't drink it. It's fine. But I'm a little worried about the unsanitary conditions because that can make an infection. So I'm like, oh, fuck. And we won't know until like a couple of weeks, when we look at the bottles and see if there's any dots along the line of the top of the beer. And then we'll know if it's infected. But, oh, man, I hope it's not. Because all that work, like it's seriously like 4 or 5 hours worth of work to make it, like start to finish.
New Bruce Gates Influenza Pale Ale.
So I'm really hoping it works out. Because, it already got fucked up in that I didn't convert enough so that, the alcohol level's not going to be where it is, which is the same problem I had with the most recent beer that I did. Although I remembered to sanitize everything, so that's good at least. I just fucked up the mash and then the new one. But
what are you going to do, though?
Yeah, man, beer infection. It could happen. It can happen to anybody.
So wait, so your beer got a yeast infection? Oh,
I don't know. It could have.
You see what I did there? Oh,
yeah, its Dinklewoman's could have gotten infected, most certainly.
I'm so fucking clever.
The good thing is, like, even if you drink it, it won't hurt you. It'll just taste really fucking bad. Like, that's the worst that'll happen, is it'll just taste really nasty. It won't hurt you. But if it happens, if I see those little dots, I'm just going to dump the whole batch.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I haven't dumped a batch yet. I know you said Joe dumped a batch because it wasn't quite right. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't share it.
Yeah.
Which I don't normally do anyway, just because it's kind of a waste. You spent the money and the time. You might as well drink it, even if it's not something you'd normally drink. Think of it as like drinking a Bud Light or something if you usually drink craft beer,
Yeah, well, the thing about Joe is, though, he's got that, like, A-type personality where he's like, almost like a perfectionist when it comes to his work like that. When it comes to, like, making beer or something like that, everything's got to be, like, just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
If he can make little tweaks and whatnot, that's great. He does it. But if
what? Sorry, that was my phone.
Well, obviously, answer it. Maybe it's like
it's not ringing. It's not ringing. It was an alarm that I forgot to turn off.
Maybe it's that guy from Africa.
Maybe. That'd be awesome. You got my cell phone number, and he's like, "Talk to me." I'm like, "We can't." He's like, "I'm king of peace, love," and I'm like, "I don't give a shit. We can't hear you."
I'm king of unemployment.
Thanks for the $6,012. Damn it!
Like, son of a bitch.
Oh, you guys are asses.
So yeah, I didn't know that about Joe, actually, that he was that much of a perfectionist, that he would just...
Yeah, like, because he was trying to, for those that don't know, Joe was, like, Joe actually worked over at the Harpoon Brewery, so if you ever take the tour, look for everybody Joe, and, just say hey to him. He's a cool guy.
Is he still working there?
Yeah, he's still working.
He used to work.
Yeah, he's still working there. Yeah, he's still working there.
Right on.
But, yeah, so he brews his own beer at his house, and, like, brews it up in his basement and whatnot. And, one year he was working on a beer for Christmas. He was working on, like, a chocolate coconut beer. And, so he tried a little bit of the batch, and he was like, it just tasted way too much like coconut. He's like, it just didn't taste good to him, so he just dumped out the entire batch.
Yeah, that's alcohol abuse, though. Even if it was too much like coconut, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what I might have done, too, is I might have, like, I don't know if you can do it, but I'd look into maybe seeing if you could, quote-unquote, dry hop with chocolate, like add chocolate to the batch afterwards and then, like, rebottle it or rekeg it or whatever he does with it. Do you know if he bottles or he kegs?
He bottles.
He still bottles? Do you know what size batches he does?
No.
Like how many gallons?
I have no idea, dude.
You'll have to ask him. You'll have to get him on here so I can ask him.
What? Why me?
Fine, I'll...
You're a co-host / producer of this show, sir.
No, true, but I don't have any pull.
Can't pull your cock.
Pull your Dinkleman.
Make yourself Ortiz all over the place.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So like I said, I wouldn't dump it, man. I'd just keep it for myself and be like, this tastes too much like coconut.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least it's beer.
I don't know.
At least you didn't have to, because presumably one of the reasons that